Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to change the oil on a 4.7 liter Aston Martin V8 Vantage. That is the 2009 to 2018 model year. There's not really a video on how to do it, and all the videos that are out there are from the 4.3 liter, which is quite a bit different. So I figured I would do a video and show you how to do that. So you're going to need quite a few things for this job, which I will provide in the link below the video. First thing you want to do is get rid of this base plate. You're going to need your T30 for the black screws, Phillips heads for this front lip area, and then T40 for the big silver screws in the back. The lip just kind of pulls off after you remove the 5 screws. Next up, you'll be ready to remove all the screws for the base plate. There will be 8 T30 and 4 T40 screws on this base plate you need to remove. Once those are done, the plate should practically fall off in your face. Obviously, be careful of that. Okay, with the under tray removed, you can see the main reservoir 13mm nut that you need to remove. You'll see it has a copper washer attached to it. Before we get started draining that, though, you want to remove the dipstick. You pretty much can't miss it. Pop the hood and it's right there in front of your face. Just unscrew it and put it somewhere safe. Initially, the bolt can be difficult to remove, but once you get it cracked, it should be able to be twisted off with your fingers. And you can see the direction I'm turning it clockwise. So once you get that bolt off, keep that main bolt. You'll dispose of the copper washer. I let the main tank here drain for like 30 minutes. It's going to have most of the oil in the system, so it's just good to give it quite a bit of time to fully drain out. So here's the main drain plug with the new copper washer on it. I'm just going to pop it back in for now, hand tighten it, and get it in there while we drain the rest of the plugs in the system. Up next, you want to remove the filter. I wound up needing a filter wrench. Well worth the money. It was stuck in there pretty good, so turn to the left and crank away. Once you unseat it initially, you should be able to just remove it with your hands. Once you do get it going with your hands, make sure your oil thing is underneath. As you can see here, the oil starts to come out. Just let it drip for a little while, and once it drains for a little bit, once it stops, you can remove the filter fully. So once you get it off, just let it drain. I let mine drain for quite a while, probably another 20-30 minutes, and once that's done, you can pop the new one back on. When you are ready to put the new filter back on, just grab a little oil and put some around the rubber ring there. That will help you the next time you need to remove it. Otherwise, it can get stuck on there, and that's no good. When I do put the filter back on, I like to hand tighten it as hard as possible, and then add another quarter turn with the wrench. Be very careful not to crush the filter with the wrench, though. These are pretty fragile, so you got to be really careful not to do that. I've marked the remaining drain plugs in the order I'm going to do them. I'm going to start here with number 1. These all weren't too difficult to crack. They all needed a 13mm hex head, and once you got them cracked, you could remove them with your fingers basically. So drain that one out, and then the other 2 as well, and replace them with the new ones that you received in the kit. Okay, that's the first one. Drain, 20 minutes or so, replace the bolt. So for these 2 here, I actually wound up draining them both at the same time. They're really close together, so you could do that if you want as well. My reservoir was definitely wide enough to accommodate that. But yeah, there's the bolts from the kit. I'm just going to pop those back in and then do the third and final one that people are sometimes confused about. So here it is. It's just behind this little frame piece. Do the same thing here. We're going to remove it with 13mm bolt and then drain it and then replace it. Okay, here's the last bolt in. At this point, you're going to want to tighten everything up. Your main 4 bolts and the filter. And then we're going to get ready to pour the oil in. In case anyone was wondering, this bolt as well as all the others they're supposed to be tightened around 26 pound-feet of torque. So that's what I did. Okay, we got our 10 liters of 10W60. I use Motul, which is apparently real good synthetic. I would highly recommend using a funnel for this, as the little spout thing on the bottle itself isn't that great. There's also a little measuring line on the side of the bottle as well, so you can kind of get an idea of, slightly less than 10 liters will be 9.5 liters. Other than that, you just go ahead and fill her up, and that's pretty much it at this point. Drink up. Glug, 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 glug. So here's what a dipstick looks like on an Aston Martin. It's a beautiful single metal piece with the 4.7 liter V8 written in there. You want to get your oil level in between there. And the process in order to do that, according to the owner's manual, is you're supposed to start your vehicle for 20 seconds, turn it off, let it rest for 30 seconds, and at that point you then determine if your oil level is correct. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here and show you what that's like. Okay, 30 seconds later, here we are. Unscrew the dipstick all the way. Give it a wipe to clean it off. And then go ahead and screw the dipstick all the way back in again. Once it's in there, unscrew again. And then you can take a look at your oil level. And if you did everything right, it should be in between those two lines, just like mine is. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Otherwise, anything you saw in the video except for the car, you can find in the link below. Thanks again.